What's going on, everybody? Just want to let you know our sponsors going forward for our future episodes. We are sponsored by Red Clover Coffee. So if you go to redclovercoffee.com and type in code IWP at checkout, you'll save 10% site-wide. Also, we are sponsored by Performance Supplements. So if you go over to performancesup with 2ps.com and type in code IWP at checkout, you'll save 15% site-wide. And our third sponsor is we are sponsored by Crunch Fitness up here in Northern California. Thank you, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 15 with Josh Patti here. He is in the Army, and he is a 68 Whiskey, which is a combat medic. Not my job, not my forte, but I'm going to let him introduce himself about it, talk about, what he does, who he is, and, what made him join the military, where he's at now, and what his plans are going forward. So Josh is actually a very good friend of mine. We're going to get into some of the stories doing security in downtown Dallas at a couple of the bars, which is really fun. I felt like spiritually I needed that at that time. But thank you for coming on, bro. I know it's super late, 3 hours ahead of me, but go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us what you do, why'd you join the military, the family life, the whole nine. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, man. First and foremost, man, I really do appreciate you reaching out and getting me to come on your podcast. I've never done one of these before. So I want to just say thank you for that.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you already introduced my name. I'm Josh. In the Army, in the eyes of the Army, I'm just a 68 Whiskey combat medic. Honestly, just a glorified name for an EMT. We're jack of all trades. Right now, we're in peacetime, as they like to say. So they really don't have us doing a lot of field work right now. I'm part of Medicom. I'm not in ForceCom as of right now. So I really just man a clinic. My day-to-day job is I'm the NCOIC for a few sections of D. Lorenzo Pentagon Health Clinic. I really just a babysitter, really. I just hold the general's hands, tell him like, hey, come on now, you gotta do your PHA. At times I do like to get into acute care and really just kind of get my hands dirty with those type of patients. So it is a lot of fun. Definitely learned a lot. I'm not bashing it whatsoever. It's just being in Medicom, it's completely different than ForceCom. ForceCom, you're doing stuff, you're having fun. You're actually having fun. Medicom, it's a lot of politics. But that's really what it is.
Bureaucracy or what?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I work at the Pentagon. Come on,
It's
there's
the best of the
everywhere.
best right there.
What do they say? That's a different story for another time. No, I really just joined the Army just because, I mean, like we worked at LA Fitness together. You knew the hours that we were pulling together, like literally at the gym, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. Monday, actually, no, I didn't even work on Sundays. No, yeah, that's right. We never did work Sundays, did we?
We got lucky.
No, so it's just, yeah, thank God. Work at 5 a.m. Monday through Saturday, all the way till what, 8 a.m. And then we were at the whip from 8 p.m. till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday through Saturday.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, I just needed a change of pace. I mean, financial strain at that time. And you just had a gut feeling like, hey, you need to join. Always had a calling for serving. I've always helped out veterans. All the veterans that came in our gyms, man, like we just hung out with them. Excuse me. So yeah, I had a gut feeling to join for my family's sake. So that's what I did. And then guess what happened? Literally 6 months after joining, COVID happened. It's been a huge blessing. I know, dude. Like, freaking hate
How was the
politics.
How was the wife with you joining and the possibility of literally packing up and moving, which is what happened, and then essentially the endeavor in that sense of going in and wanting to make a career out of it and just kind of like the unknown for her. How is that, like, what was her thought process on that, on you joining?
Wow, dude, she's been my main supporter. Like she was all for it. We the joining the military actually was the gateway to living the family lifestyle we wanted. We really wanted to go old school. Like, she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, homeschool the kids. That way, they're not being conformed to the government shoving information down their throat as they
Dude,
do in public
this
school.
is why I like
And
you, Josh. This is why I like you. I
yeah,
can't do it, man.
so
Christina and I are the same way, bro.
yeah, so it's been a huge blessing.
Mhm.
She's been my main supporter through it all, and then like every opportunity that I've had in the military, I presented it to her, and she's always like, "Okay, let's draw a map. Let's draw a map and list every single outcome, and let's just pick the best outcome. Pray on it, ask God for guidance through those times, and then dude, we haven't looked back on it. I do not. There's only one aspect on civilian, well, actually two aspects of civilian life that I truly miss the most. One, working on the
Your
ranch, and
beard?
then two, dude, okay, yeah, three. We'll go. I miss my beard, man. Like, God, Army, get with the times, man. It doesn't mess with the gas mask. Like, get with
I
the
was just
times.
gonna ask you. You know why they do that, right? Is because of the gas mask thing. But dude,
But
there are
yeah,
regulations.
firefighters still do it.
Dude, it's so silly to me. Okay, so like something like this, I like that doesn't like that's not that bad, right? Like if you as long as you, I'm not for it, and I'm or against it, I guess in this sense. It's just like it's not that big of a deal, man. And like when you put on the gas mask, no matter what, when they test you and you put it on and you do this, you fail that part of the test every time because of the sides of the gas mask on here. When it's covering your face, it lifts up. So like everybody fails that, but they know it and they let you pass anyways, dude. So you're telling me, I'm not trying to go down a rabbit hole, but damn it, Josh. So you're you're telling me that if I have this right here, I'm gonna fail my gas mask test, and that's not, and we can't do that, right? But somebody with a full-on beard, which we've seen them plenty of times, you're telling me that they're gonna fail no matter what, and you're still gonna allow it? Like it doesn't make any sense to me. I have seen dudes with legit Viking beards, and I honestly do not understand how they get away with it because there is regulations on length and thickness and how it looks and stuff. And for us and our regulations, you can't line your beard up. It's got to have a natural look to it. But nobody says anything. And I'm gonna say this one last thing because it's on my mind. So that way I don't forget, and then I'll let you start. I'll let you start back up. It just so so this bracelet right here, it's got the cross on it. Okay. Um, I had two bracelets. I had a blue and a yellow one for Casey because he has Down syndrome, and then I had like a red, like a white and a yellow one or whatever from Elias. Now I could totally understand those being out of regs. I get that, but I had on a black and white. What would Jesus do? Like cloth bracelet, and for the first time in my 3 years, my supervisor or my flight chief came to me, right? She's cool. She came to me and she was like, Burke, I love you, right? And I was like, what did I do? And I'm looking around because I knew it had something to do with my appearance. And she's like, well, you're not allowed to have those bracelets. And I said, hey, with all due respect, can you show me in the regs where it says I can't have this, and I will gladly take it off. So she shows me, and you can only have a gold or silver metal bracelet. And so, I'm like, hey, no problem. Took it off. And then, they were like, well, you have to take off the, what would Jesus do? I said, hey, with all due respect, I was like, not because I'm getting out in like 2 weeks, like my final out. But I was like, I'm not taking this off. I was like, I have seen so much ridiculous stuff go on. And dude, I've seen birds, like female birds wearing like pomegranate, dark as shit, purple lipstick out of regs. You know what? I don't even give a shit, dude. I don't care. I'm fucking putting this out there. Oh God, I gotta be careful, dude. There's another person. I'm not gonna say male or female, but this individual, headband has to be of a certain color, has to be of a certain width. Can't be more than 2 inches. This individual wears a headband that is 2.5, 3 inches wide. Looks like looks like a damn beanie. And this person has been in for over 20 years. but no one says anything because of their rank. But because I'm wearing a religious bracelet that is black and white, and God forbid it's not of metal, you're gonna tell me that I can't wear it, dude. This whole like trying to come down and crack down on dress and appearance, bro, they have bigger shit to do than tell me I can't wear a religious what would Jesus do bracelet. I'm not taking that off, dude. Girls have fingernails this long, ridiculous. But anyways, I forgot what we were talking about. Do you remember?
No, not really. I mean, we both went down that rabbit hole.
Dude, it's just.
Like,
Oh, you're talking about
the
how your
same
wife was
on
homeschooling and
the
stuff.
side. Oh yeah.
Let's go. We'll go
No,
back to that.
dude, so with
Sorry,
her
guys.
homeschooling, man. Oh no, yeah. With her homeschooling, dude, like the curriculum that she's teaching the boys is it's astonishing to me. I never.
How
I
is
mean,
it?
I was,
Like
I
it?
was a, oh, dude, I love it, man. Like
That's awesome.
she teaches them like true homestead. Like their Logan is well beyond like his current what do you even call it? It's been so long since I've been in school. Like his grade for math. Like the kid's a nerd with math.
Dude, that's awesome. How old is he?
Shoot. No, I'm just kidding.
6?
Nah, he'll be 6 in December.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's 5 right now, but like he's very smart with math, and there's been some times where he's like outsmarted the answer with Amanda. You know,
Dude, that's awesome.
So and then like as every single day for class I think it's English. Excuse me. It's just memorizing a Bible verse, and it's awesome. So I absolutely love it. I'm 100% behind it. And then like as they progress, teaches like more like homestead style, like growing fruits and vegetables in the backyard. Like, dude, I mean, if it wasn't nighttime, I would show you our garden. Man, we have like 6 or 7 pepper plants, three or 4 strawberry plants. Like I got 3 composting bins just chilling out in the backyard right now.
Way
with,
cooler
like,
than them playing freaking video games and trying to get on social media or be stuck to an iPad. Yeah, it's
100%.
Dude, it's completely agreed.
Yeah, we actually limit their TV time to a total throughout every single day, a total of just like 2 to 3 hours every single day. And it's like, you know, just for the sake of simplicity, hour and a half in the morning, an hour and a half in the evening. That's it. Like once we get our day clothes on and Amanda and I, we go for our morning run, it's strictly, hey, you either playing with your toys that we bought you upstairs, you're doing school, or you're playing outside. We'll go to the park. We'll, you know, run chief. I don't care. Like you're not sitting in front of the TV because I knew how bad of a shithead I was.
It was easy, right? Just easy.
Yeah. So no, I'm fully behind homeschooling. Like for those of you that you know are contemplating whether to go into homeschooling or not, I'd jump all in. Do it. You won't look back on it. Like especially because you form a stronger bond with your child. Doing homeschool, like.
Do you know who Tim Kennedy is? You know him, right?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Tim Kennedy.
I don't. Ever since we like literally ever since we joined the military, like as you know, I just recently downloaded the social media, just honestly just for you, just because you're my friend. I want to support your business. So,
he is a very big public figure, and he was in the Army. And he just made a post a few days ago talking about kids being homeschooled and like with parents being afraid that they're gonna like be socially awkward and stuff like that. And dude, he had like the perfect video, very quick, very simple. And it was like videos of him showing his kids how to do like the planting of stuff like vegetables, you know, cleaning stuff like outside or just doing like domesticated stuff in that sense, and still being able to go with his friends like to the zoo or play outside, and you know you still integrate them. And man, it's the first thing I asked, there's a daycare around the corner from where we live. I was like, hey, do you guys have cameras? You know, what is the curriculum? What are you guys teaching them? She's like, yeah. She's like, you guys can tune in on the cameras and there's pictures for you guys to see. And they give them like a nutritional balance of food. and we're able to review the curriculum that is taught in the classroom, which is really cool. Because I ain't playing that bullshit where you're gonna try to, dude. If I see a pride flag, bro, in a room like that, and they're gonna start pushing that agenda, bro, I'm so against it. And the thing is people need to realize that I don't care if you're LGBTQ. I do not care. Nobody cares. But what us parents care about is like pushing that agenda down kids' throat and telling them it's okay and they can do this, that, and the other. I saw a post the other day, dude. Oh my gosh, bro. This dude, obviously a part of that community, sitting in front of kids, telling them that Jesus was a female, bro.
No.
Telling them it was a female, and these kids were like, "Oh, I thought it was a male this whole time." And like, I'm like, "What are you, bro?" It's like, I just want to take his neck, dude. Like, what are you doing to these kids, bro? Leave them alone. And all the parades that are happening, and they're saying we're coming for your kids, dude. They literally said that you could see the videos if you look for them. They said 1, 2, 3, 4, open up the closet door. 5, 6, 7, 8, don't assume your kids are straight. Like, what are you doing? They're flashing 3-year-olds in the street. And dude, shame on the parents for taking their kids to something like that and forcing that down their throat. I have several friends that live in Canada. Dude, the Toronto police said it is okay for that community, when they do parades, to be naked and express their sexuality. Bro, what? Oh, if I did that shit, I would go to jail. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, get out here with that nonsense. But no, like,
it's fucking.
Did you see that one in New York of all places?
Yeah, that's the one, dude. That's the one where they were chanting.
Yeah, well, like the one the chant that I heard is like, "We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children," or some stupid nonsense like that. Like, try me,
dude.
Please come through my door.
And that's the thing, man. I have gay friends in Texas and Arizona, and I've known people, and they have never, ever, 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 ever pushed that shit on anybody until now that it's hit the mainstream, because that's what the Biden administration does. They're pushing this so hard to try to weaken America, and then now all of a sudden everybody cares. Josh, before the freaking pandemic, did anybody say, "Hey, it's she, her, or he, him"? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about those pronouns, bro. The crazy part about it is that you cannot look this up. For anybody that's watching, you do not understand. I don't care if your feelings get hurt. This is the truth. If you look it up, you cannot claim grammar as part of who you are. You can't claim grammar. Otherwise, I could tell you like an adjective, right? I could be like, "Hey, you know what? You need to refer to me as handsome every time you refer to me." You know, you can't. You just can't do that. And nobody cared about that before, bro. Like, it's just wild to me. Like, that shit started back in the 70s, and it was I think it was like the Stonewall March or Stonewall something. And dude, nobody cares, bro. But I'm glad that you guys are homeschooling your kids, because they're not going to get consumed by this like evil that is going around right now. And I know parents are kind of afraid to raise their kids in this stuff, but anyways, homeschool the kids. Well, take us through, a little bit past that into, how was tech school, dude? Like, how did all that go for you?
So tech school, AIT, Advanced Individual Training for the Army. Dude, it was so much fun. I enjoyed it. My background. I have a bachelor's degree in exercise science and physiology. So like learning about the body is my go-to. I love it. I love how the body heals. I love how to learn different ways to actually heal the body that I would never thought of just being on the regular civilian side. It was so much fun. Like I love combat medics. I love everything that we do. Now, the one thing I was really truly bummed out is whenever I went in, I joined late. I joined at 29 years old, but my cycle was the last cycle before they started training all new combat medics as prolonged field care, just because, excuse me, man, this coffee is like giving me hiccups.
You know what doesn't give you hiccups? redclovercoffee.com, 10% off at checkout, IWP for your discount code.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you don't want to go through that, no, I'm just kidding.
No.
I got like 10 other brands that are really good too, buddy. But I'll definitely try Red Clover.
Don't you do it.
I'm not gonna. I'm very picky with my coffee beans, man. I'm a coffee connoisseur.
Hey, this guy was also military.
Okay.
And he's an
All right.
EMT, I believe.
Do what?
I believe he's also an EMT. Paramedic
nice.
and stuff.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay. I respect. I only buy from veteran-owned companies. U.S. made, so I keep it in the country.
There we go.
But no, like, so right now, all future combat medics are trained in prolonged field care, just because, obviously things are heating up between Russia. We no longer have sky superiority, so gotta learn how to keep a man alive for longer than 72 hours. So thankfully, there's other schools that all of us that graduate before prolonged field care, like DECM, delayed evacuation casualty movement. It teaches what we missed out on, and then going into the future, all combat medics will. I don't remember the time frame, so you'll have to forgive me, but all combat medics were going from EMT to paramedics. That way, it kind of helps set us up for the future if we want to. For those of us that do want to just serve 4, 5, 6 years and then get out, but more skill set. So I love AIT. I loved it. Being pretty much the platoon dad, being the older gentleman in the group. I really the thing that I guess the thing I liked the most was just everybody just treated me like a human being. Yep. Being the older gentleman, I really didn't care who you were. I had the utmost respect for drill sergeants, but I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to. You want to get in my face and knife hand me? I'm going to stand my ground, and I don't put up with that. But the thing that did suck the most is, like, once we came to Camp Bullis, the lead instructor out there, he was just like, all right, all you folks that are over 6 foot and weigh over 250 pounds, raise your hand. Well, he actually told us to stand up, and so we all there's probably about like 6 of us that stood up. He's like, "Great, congratulations! You're not doing any medical training. Y'all are all casualties. Y'all are just gonna lay on the litters the whole time." I'm like, "Dude, are you serious? Like, I went through all of this like 3 to 4 months of training, and then I just end up being a casualty the whole time." But it was pretty funny. I got dropped like 5 or 6 times on the litter, but other than that,
dude, people, when we went through all that training in tech school and the gurneys and stuff, bro, you had these like females.
I forgot you were at Camp Bullis too.
Yeah, dude, we had I was at Camp Bullis for 3 weeks, and that's why I was kind of surprised. I didn't know you guys actually went there. But that's where I think that's like a pretty big Army base as far as for like deployment training and stuff like that. Like a little bit of it besides El Paso. But yeah, we had girls, dude, that were like 100 pounds soaking wet. They could not pick up a gurney. They couldn't drag, carry you with the drag handle on your vest. And I mean, dude, they were dropping everybody, dude. Like big dudes like you couldn't pick them up. It was I felt bad.
And that's what's like ultimately sad, and kind of bring into light of like the new PT test for the Army. I'm 100% behind it. I hope it stays. I don't know if you read the NDAA for fiscal year 2024
for you guys,
but yeah,
no, I didn't.
So Congress is toying with bringing back the APFT.
That's the hard one, right?
No, it's just a push-up, sit-up, and 2-mile run.
What's the one that's supposed to be? What's the one that y'all do now? Where you guys like do like the back and forth, and then the kettle carry? What is that?
Oh, the ACFT, the Army Combat.
Yeah. I like that one, dude.
Army Combat. Yeah. So that one's definitely geared more towards deployment and actually like forces soldiers, especially like all the older crowds that are watching this. I say this with utmost respect because I'm still in, but it forces you to get out of your comfort zone and actually learn how to properly work out outside of the push-up, sit-up, and the 2-mile run. Me personally, hey, APFT, yeah, that worked back in the day. That worked back in like World War II, everything of that sort. Yeah, fine, you do you, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But it built up a stigma like, hey, if you are a great runner, you're a great leader. Ooh, so what? You can run a 13-minute 2-mile run. But nowadays, where we are wearing equipment that is anywhere from 70 to 100 more pounds on us,
Mm-hmm.
I need to be able to trust you to pull me out of danger
Mm-hmm.
if I'm shot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Dude,
yeah.
that gets me the most, and you know, I mean, bless Christina. She probably gets irritated with me saying it all the time, but man, I have seen. I don't care. I've seen so many fat, overweight, out of shape people, and
Mhm.
you know for a fact that they can't do 5 sit-ups, let alone run a mile in a time frame or a mile and a half that we have to do, and I guarantee you that they're just getting checked off bare minimum to get by. Dude,
Mhm.
I walked through over here at our hospital on base called DGMC David Grant. Dude, I walked through there because I had appointments to go to. I saw a colonel. Um, she was probably 5'6", 5'5", and shit you not, bro, 300 pounds. I said to
Oh yeah,
myself,
I don't doubt it.
like
I
you,
see it all the time
bro,
in the
like
Pentagon, man.
I just don't understand, man. Like you joined like the most like essentially the lethal force that you can in the United States.
Mhm.
You sign the dotted line knowing that there's a possibility that we could go to war. You could be on the front lines. You're going to be carrying a weapon. And because you push paper in whatever branch you're in, that you just like throw that away. And then, dude, my thing is I know it happened to some people. It is unfortunate, but I still don't give a shit. You can't, in my eyes, you can't blame COVID for you not running, not doing
Mhm.
sit-ups, not doing push-ups, not doing anything physical. Like
Mhm.
you can't sit there and blame because we didn't do PT tests for 2 years, bro. Like I did a PT
Exactly.
test, but like the military in general, they're like, oh, they pushed it back and oh, we can't do it. Yeah, there's COVID. You gotta fucking wear a mask. You know, it's just like I'm like, man, dude, like I'm so ashamed that like they just don't take it serious. Um, dude, it's crazy. It just blows my mind, dude. I hate seeing that because it just makes our military just look so
Mhm.
weak, and with everything where it's going now and trying to make it easier for people and all this other BS to try to join, you know, and like I almost left the military, dude. I talked to Christina like pretty hard about it because I didn't want to get the COVID shot. Um, I did not want
Mhm.
to get it, dude. I'm pretty sure like you heard my 2 cents about it. Like I didn't want to get
Mhm.
it, and I was like, damn, dude, you know. But my youngest one needs care. Our family needs care. I'm like, how the hell am I gonna do this? I'm like, whatever. I got it. And then I ended up actually getting diagnosed with dyspnea and heart palpitations from the COVID shot. Isn't that crazy?
Mhm.
I was fine,
Yeah,
bro.
you're
I was
one
healthy.
of those. You were actually one of those rare. I don't want to say like I'm pro COVID vaccine because
No.
I'm not, but you were one of those rare instances that
Mm-hmm.
you got some pretty hectic side effects from it, and
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry for that, man. Like I hate honestly the worst time for the military or like the peak where the military took a drastic drop. It was COVID.
Yeah. And COVID,
Hands down.
all.
It made people lazy.
Yep.
People became more
Yep.
political. Like, for crying out loud, you're in the military. Like,
Yeah. I don't have no sympathy for nobody, dude. Like
yeah, yeah.
I was on track. Had I not had this injury in my right arm and shoulder and my freaking spine, dude, I was on track to become an E6 within my 6-year term, which like is like 1% of people that actually get that. Um,
Mhm.
and dude, like everyone was like, "Oh man, I wish you would have been a leader because you do this X, Y, and Z." And that's how we were at LA Fitness, dude. You know, that's how we were when we were bouncing at the clubs and the bars. Like, if I tell you something one time, get that shit done. Why do I have to keep telling you again? I'm like you're like my 3.5-year-old kid, right? Say, hey, come eat, come eat. Hey, come eat, come eat. Like, dude, just go do it, get it done. Quit complaining. Try to find solutions and figure it out. It's just like
Oh yeah.
I've seen so many soft people, dude, and it really sucks, man. Like I like you said earlier, I've always wanted to join the military too. And when I talked to Christine about it and we finally made it happen, I was like, man, like I felt like at home in a sense. And then being in for like 3 years and like where like I'm at now, of course, getting out and like what I've seen so far in the 3-year time frame, I'm like, damn, dude, like this really sucks. And it all comes down to leadership. They can really, 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 really make or break
No,
your time.
100%.
So
Yeah, 100. I could not agree more with you. Like, you know, I'm in the same exact boat as you are. You
Mm.
know, been in this October will be 4 years for me. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, you haven't seen what the true life is in the army. Yeah, I don't care. I've seen enough.
Yeah.
For crying out loud, I work at the Pentagon. I talk to VIPs all the time. I get to hear what their honest opinion, not what they say this on TV in front of you in
Hmm.
front of viewers. I actually get to hear what their human side, what their morals and ethics truly say. And I'm not saying like, hey, they're completely lying, but they're in a position where if they speak against the government, hey, they're going to have a hammer drop down on them, not only them but their family as well. So
Hmm.
they're protecting their family
Yeah.
first and foremost. But I mean, I have three roads laid out for me right now. You know, as we talked about a few months ago, like I passed my OCS board
Hmm.
for Officer Candidate School, so I have that. But dude, the first 2 weeks of May, I took leave, took Amanda and the boys back down to Texas, visit both sets of parents, and we stayed out on. Excuse me, God, this coffee.
Mm.
I don't drink coffee this late, man. Like I said, I'm usually in bed asleep by now. Um, no, we went to her parents' ranch, and man, that was just a huge eye opener. Like
It's great.
there was there was just this one moment, like I was helping her dad. We were cutting down mesquite trees and just throwing them in the bed of the truck. We had literally just unloaded the bed of the truck into a burn pile, and I was just sitting there, and I saw both Logan and Gabriel just helping out Granddad around, and I was like, dude, like it is literally. I felt like I just got gut punched,
Hmm.
like for crying out loud,
It's a
like
sign, brother.
something. Yeah, yeah, dude, it really is. And so I was like, man, this is what life really is. Like this is has to be the life for my family.
Hmm.
So now, like it also sucked. I was like, dude, I literally just passed my OCS board. Like, holy crap, what am I gonna do now? So, um, it was just literally that door shut. But it's still kind of cracked open where I still can go OCS. But hey, everything that I've learned and seen in this past 4 years, it doesn't make me want to be staying in the military.
Don't if you
One
go
bit.
to that and you go become an officer, don't you have to sign like a 10-year contract or something?
So that was actually the old MilPer message. So I
Mm.
want to say that was like the one. Oh gosh, dang it! What year is this? 2023.
Hmm.
So like that was the one in 2021. The MilPer message from my packet was like, hey, pretty much you have to stay in for a total of 8 years. Well, whenever I initially signed up, I signed for 6 years, so that would just extend me for 2 more years.
They'll let it carry over like that or count
Yeah,
it. Oh wow, okay.
yeah.
I didn't know if it was gonna be like a fresh 10-year, BS hook you in kind of deal.
Oh, no, no, no. Trust me, if that was the
That'd
case,
be
I
a.
would have said,
I
yeah,
would have said
no,
no,
I'm out.
dude. Yeah,
Excuses.
not a
I'm
shot,
out.
bro. Dang, dude. So that's where Christina and I were kind of in a predicament. Also, like how we talked about offline is like, you know, um, fortunate but unfortunate for myself to be in this situation because of what happened to me and physically for the rest of my life, but fortunate to where, you know, getting, that paycheck every month for the rest of my life and the healthcare for the family, it relieves a lot of stress and a lot of burdens because Christina and I, like, we want to get a house with land too. We're thinking about buying a home in Texas, but like renting it out. But we're kind of like back and forth. But seeing your kids
Well,
like that,
are
man,
y'all
and
set?
hang out with
Are
everybody,
y'all,
dude, that's everything.
yeah. Are y'all choosing to stay in California or
Well, dude,
move out to Texas?
no. So I just found this out because I had to go to. You guys have TMO? Is it the same thing? It's like
Yes.
it's like the traveling agency, whatever, that they help you move and all that shit. So I had to go to
Hmm.
TMO, and I had to go to the actual class to get signed off on my out processing. Right, I go to the class. one of the dudes that's teaching it mentioned something as far as like being retired, or getting retired out, or like just separating as far as the TMO move. So I had a question. I said, hey, if you're getting retired, how long do I have to use like that free move from the military? He told me it is 1 year from the day that you separate. I said, okay. And then it was the same thing it's 1 year if you retire. And then I think it was like 6 months or a year if you separate. So my last day, like I'm on leave right now, and then it rolls over into permissive TDY, and then it rolls over into terminal. And then 2 September, I'm done. And so I asked the question. He's like, oh, it's a year. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He didn't really seem confident about it. So I had to go get wet signature from TMO stating that I went to that class. I asked the dude in there, I said, hey, I got a question for you. I said, how long is it until you can use that free move of getting out if you are or if you're getting retired as far as separating? And he told me, he said, well, they changed it last year, May, that if you retire, they give you up to 3 years now to move for free wherever you want in the world, Josh. Before, you had to stay CONUS. And if my home of record was Texas and I'm stationed in California, but we want to move to Florida, they will pay for everything from California to Texas, and then from Texas over, we have to cover the difference. I'm like, oh wow, that freaking sucks. But if you retire, you can go anywhere in the world. You have 3 years to do it, and they pay for everything. The only thing I have to pay for are the port fees to get into whatever country we're going to. And I asked him, can I get documentation stating this, what you just said? He brought it over to me. It is legit. I have the form. So if anybody out there wants to say something, this, that, or the other, or wants to know about it, message me. I have it. And if you separate, you only get 6 months now, but you have to stay CONUS. But you still can pick anywhere within the United States. So we are deciding between California, but episode 10.
Just tell me the truth. You want to go back to down in Texas?
No, I don't, dude. I really don't, bro. I'm serious, man. I really don't. Once I left Texas, I'm like, man, like I understand, like I have a lot of like friends there, and of course my parents are there and my brother. But I'm like, dude, there's like really like nothing pulling me back that makes me like, hey, I want to go live back in Texas. I like, don't get me wrong. I love like the gun laws and all and everything else, and it's cheaper to live there than it is here. I understand that. But I'm a numbers guy. You know me, entrepreneur for like 12, 13 years. It's just honestly like really
annoying.
Yeah, dude. What I'm good at, what I'm best at. I love numbers. And so you're fine. Episode 10, I sat down with an investor. His name is Lane Kawaoka, and he owns like 10,000 units, bro. He said, do not buy in a blue state. He said it does not benefit you at all. He was like, it's the worst investment you'll ever make. So if we stay here in California, we're most likely going to rent or buy a property in Texas, flip it, and go somewhere else. But I think I have these papers right here. I'm going to show you live where we might go. Hold on. So, what is that? What flag is that?
Oh, wow, really?
Visa paperwork for the whole family, because we might go to Italy.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is, we're deciding between Italy, Texas, California, Florida. But the only reason if and why we would go to Florida is because they have really, really, really good intel jobs out there for her. And then of course being deployed is like a huge like experience thing, and you're going to get a job. She had a couple jobs here in California, but I don't really think she wants to stay here. I'm glad that they said that we can get the free move in 3 years, because her brother is about to have his first kid, his first son. So she wants to be here for that. So I assume we're going to be here for the next 2 years, and then we're going to bounce. So she may get a NATO job in southern Italy. She may get an intelligence job in Tampa, or some job here that may keep us here. But I really don't care where we go. I just really don't want to go back to Texas, man. It's not that I don't like it at all. It's not that I do not like it at all. I just want something different, bro. And Amalfi Coast, I've done tons of research, dude. It's all I do. Um, Italy is 41% cheaper to live than it is here in the United States, let alone California.
I
Milk,
don't doubt it.
milk, bread, eggs are like $1.50, $2 out there. You can check it out online. And where Rome is at, actually, you know what? Where Venice is at, and the further south you go down, rent gets cheaper. So you could literally get a home on southern Italy in Amalfi Coast. If you've ever seen it, is absolutely gorgeous. It's freaking breathtaking. You could get a home on the beach by the water anywhere from 180 to 300 grand, which having a VA loan is super cheap. You know, and obviously we've got two of them. If we needed to use them, we can. But that's kind of like our goal, man. That's where we want to go. But it's all about the experience for the kids, education and care. And then, you know, I mean, I could really just go wherever, dude, just because of the situation that I'm in. So
Yeah, well, I mean, if you do that, definitely look into getting land. That's all. That's my 2 cents. And just,
yep.
I mean, me personally, as you already know, like I hate people. Don't want to be around.
Oh man, we'll get into
I
that
love
here in a second.
yeah, I love animals. I mean, like I always, working at, I mean, working at the whip, I hated everybody there.
God, dude.
Like, get out of my face, please.
Mm.
But man, definitely get some land and Italy? So that's like Mediterranean weather. So sheep would do good out there. So
Everywhere,
I don't
bro.
know how you feel about shearing sheep for the
Dude,
rest of your life.
I want to. So directly behind this wall is like our front door, little walkway patio area. But if you go caddy corner out here, our backyard is like a big L, huge L.
Hmm.
And I wanted to get a chicken coop on the side over here and do the eggs and stuff like that. But it's not our
Hmm.
home. I don't want to do that to this guy's place. So if we go somewhere else and we do get land, 100%, dude, I want to have, like, we've already talked about it, freaking chickens, sheep. I'm so new to all that shit. So I'm going to have to hit you up for my Lord of the Rings brother over here and figure out what kind of animals we can have and maintain and sustain and X, Y, and Z. But it's
Oh
definitely what we
yeah,
want to
dude.
do.
Hey, we actually have a whole book. We have a notebook of just research, just homestead. Like
Oh wow.
if we were to get goats, this is the type of business that we would go into with
Mm.
with said goats. For sheep, here are some like local businesses that would buy the wool. And yeah, dude, we have a whole freaking notebook, man. Like I love farm life, so I'm all about it. Like.
So let's jump back into how do you like your job? Like what are some cool things that you've learned that you can share with us, and then what are some things that just like you just absolutely loathe?
So me personally, whenever I first got to Delo, I was straight up just like thrown into an administrative position. But that worked out perfect for me because all my years prior to the military has always been some type of business administration.
Oh yeah.
I mean, LA Fitness, that was just a glorified salesman job that we had, but it was heavy in business administration. Prior to that, I was a warehouse manager. Yeah, I was a warehouse manager for fiberglass composite structures. I was a general manager for Hibbett Sports Retail. I was a floor manager for Gringos down in Texas. So I've always known business. I've always known administration. It's what I've excelled at. So like I love what I do. I mean, I sit, granted, the thing that sucks the most is I sit in front of a computer all day, just like updating, sending out emails, writing memorandums. Yeah, God, yeah, I hate memorandums. Oh, I wish military get rid of it, please. um, but like I love what I do. I mean, so like in the Pentagon, my department, we're in charge of all of the SHIPPIes, the separation
Yep.
history, physical examination. We complete those. So all packets go through me anyways. I'm talking about over 4,000 service members. I'm like scrubbing the records, making sure everything is good to go for them to get out.
Jesus.
So I've learned so much, and like to truly help out my fellow brothers and sisters getting out of the military, that alone has just been a huge blessing to me. Like teaching them different aspects, teaching them how to get higher percentage claims with the VA, giving them out books. Like there's one book, if none of you have read it, I don't get any money off of it. This is what I give all my patients. It's a book you can get off $14 off Amazon. It's called You Deserve It by Brian Reese. He splits the book in half. He talks about how to get higher percentages, higher VA claims in the first half. And in the second half of the book, actually, I think I still have it somewhere. I don't know what Amanda did with it. But the second half of the book, he splits the country into regions and goes state by state and lists like all the hidden secrets for like veterans in each and every single state. You know, like the first one that comes off my mind is Alaska. You know, so for veterans in Alaska, if a house or a land goes up for auction, veterans get first dibs on that land and a 25% discount on top of that.
What about if they're 100%? Do they get any kind of discount on that?
Honestly, man, it's been a hot minute since I've actually read it, so I can't really tell you the answer.
Yeah.
But either way, you're still, well, here's the thing, either way, you're still a veteran. That's the way I see it.
Well,
You know, you still get these benefits. But you know, obviously, if you're 100%, there's probably like you have your left and right limits as with everything in life. And then so like to answer your question, the thing that I love the most is really just helping out fellow service members getting out.
and it'll be easy for you to get out because you know the process.
I know, right? I know, right? I'm like, if somebody tries to screw me over, I'm like, nah, man. Here's DOD Title 10, subparagraph 11.5. Like I'm constantly, and it's always funny because as soon as I catch like a whisper of another MTF that one of my patients has been working through, like trying to screw him over, I'm instantly calling that Joint Chief. It's like, hey, do you know that your department is doing this, doing A, B, and C, and like this is not right. Here's the regulation for this. Like, DiLorenzo is owned by the Army. Okay, it's an Army clinic, but technically it's a joint clinic. So my team, we have to know all medical regulations for Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard.
Space Force.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So we have to read those, and we have to be able to just like spitball it. Hey, in accordance to y'all's leave, I think is what like AFI. I don't even know,
bro. All I know is, hey, go into Leave Web and put it in, and I'll submit it. Thank you, sir. That's all I do.
Oh gosh, yeah. So that's the thing that I love the most. The thing I hate the most, is DHA. I hate DHA. I hate how they play politics and like they're scheming and shortchanging every single MTF of like trying to hire on more contractors, more civilians, and pushing the military out. I'm like, you're shortchanging the patients. You're making it harder for patients to get appointments because you're wanting all these civilians and contractors to man these, like, especially like satellite clinics, like DiLorenzo, it's a satellite clinic. AT Augusta really owns us. So you're hurting these patients first and foremost that really need to see medical care, but we can't because we don't have the manpower to support these patients, and therefore my appointment is now 3 months down the road, 3 months down the road. So it just sucks. That's the thing I hate the most. And then, you know, just to kind of double back, I really love the relationships that I get to gain with like all my patients. You know, I still have like a lot of patients that call my office just to say, hey, you know, first, I really just want to thank you for, your help throughout this time, but just to really just talk and chat, see where they're at in life right now. And then if they've already finished the VA claim, they're giving me pointers, like
Mm-hmm.
new assessments that the VA is pushing out. So that's really cool.
So, I don't know if you haven't been on any deployments, right? Were you like medically coded where you couldn't go on deployments, or what happened with that? Or you guys just don't really go on deployments over there?
So, I mean, it kind of goes back to like, hey, as of right now, I mean, on paper, we're technically at peacetime. So, I mean, like, hey, if HRC wants to deploy me, they can deploy me whenever they want. But no,
Yeah.
I haven't had any code or anything saying like, no, you're not deployed.
So I'll tell you something offline after this. But when I got here to my station where I'm at now, in 2022,
Mhm.
like going through phase here was, gosh, a week and a half, and going through phase at my last base was 30 days. So it's a huge difference, of course, from where I was at to where I'm at now. And as soon as I essentially went to flight or my section to start working, I got a deployment in like a month. They called me. Yeah, they called me and they were like, "Hey, can you take a short notice deployment?" I'm like, "Sure." I'm thinking, honestly, bro, when they said short notice, I'm thinking like 2 or 3 months. But when my UDM was like, "Well, today's Thursday, you need to leave by Tuesday." I'm like, "Oh shit, you're talking like 4 days." And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "Hey, out of respect for my family, let me call my wife real quick." He's like, "Cool." He was like, "Call me back in 20, 30 minutes." I said, "I'll call you back in 5." Called Christina, told her about it. We talked about it honestly for about 10 minutes, and she was extremely supportive. You know, Christina, she's like, "Go do whatever you have to do. Like, I know it, get your shit done." I'm like, "Cool. If you're okay with it and we're set up, I'm going to do it." I call him back. I said, "Hey, I'll take the deployment." Within that 15-minute time frame, dude, they yanked it from me and gave it to somebody else because I was medically coded because of moving here for EFMP, which is an Exceptional Family Member Program. Because of our youngest son, they didn't want to put us under further stress of me just getting here and then sending me off on a deployment. So I mean, to be honest with you, bro, I was like, man, I don't know, man. I was probably like 60% upset and, 40% just kind of like, whatever. Because I wanted to go and for obvious benefits, but I took it as a sign from God, dude, to just this is not what I'm supposed to do. And then a month later, I go in to do like special training to go be a Raven, and tore my bicep, and it's getting me medically retired. So it's like I really feel like he knew that this would be the best route for the family, having, even though I had to go through some trials and tribulations with everything, and unfortunately have permanent damage for the rest of my life. Like I said earlier, I can't do anything about it now. Totally content with it. But yeah, man, I just wasn't. He just didn't want me to go, and this is where I'm supposed to be. Can't complain, dude. 34 years old, retired here in 2 months, and stay-at-home dad with the kids and do whatever I want. I can literally wake up and be like, "Oh, cool, I can keep my beard growing," or I don't have to go to muster or report in at 5 in the morning. I can go wherever I want, So
Yeah, I hate you.
yeah, but it's okay, man. You'll be there soon. But
Hey, well, you know what? If you want another side gig, just be like Maddie and go be a bouncer again.
dude, so I don't think Christina watches these, so I can probably say it, but she may watch this one.
That's literally saying the same thing as like, hey, babe, hold my beer.
Yeah. So she may watch it because it is us. And she just texted me. She's 9 hours ahead. But there's a company out there. I'm not going to say their name, but they do contracts, and you know where I'm going with this. So I actually turned down a contract to go to the base where she's at, which is extremely random that I get this offer. Extremely random. And you know where her base is at? I told you. I was like, where is this place? I've never heard of it. And so I turned down a $100,000 to $300,000 contract for 11 plus months, tax free, because I'm not trying to put any more stress on her, and I'm not gonna. to be gone away from the kids right now are super crucial, where Elias is about to go to school. Casey's about to finally start walking, and it's just one of those things where, like, God blessed me with what I have right now and where we're at. I don't need to do this right now. It's definitely something that I wanted to do. And one of my buddies, he's a Raven. I'm going to get him on the show here once he gets out so he can actually be open and talk about things. But he brought something, again, going down a rabbit hole, but my brain. He asked me, because I'm getting out and stuff like that, and not being able to go be a Raven that I wanted to do. I got my deployment yanked from me. I've only been in for 3 years, and now I'm getting out. He made a good point, dude. He's like, man, just listening to you talk, dude. And he's like, who you are as a person and your character and like what we saw in you when you were training. He was like, you feel like you have unfinished business. And I tilted my head like this, like I always do. I'm like, damn, dude, that's a good point, because at the bar where we worked, like, that was, like I said earlier, like I spiritually like needed that. Like it just felt good. And it's like, that was my unfinished business, I guess, that I was able to do at that time, to beat up people for free and get paid for it. And it happened every weekend, dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's
still my favorite story was that one time where I was just pushing 3 people and one guy's like punching my gut. And I'm like, I don't even yell your name. I'm just like,
you didn't say anything.
Chihuahua, let's go.
Dude. Oh my God, dude. I loved it so much. You know what? Let's get into that real quick. So we worked at LA Fitness together. And we also worked downtown Dallas between a couple little bars and clubs. We did security together. Josh actually started there before me, like 2-3 months before, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he asked me to come on. Yeah, Maddie's awesome, dude. I fucking love that guy. And then he asked me to come on board. You got paid cash every time you worked. It was a lot of fun. We got into a lot of fights. I think one of my... Oh, man, I had a lot of favorites. Let me start with the dude. This is not to gloat or anything like that. This is just the stories that happened that were real. And for one, we never lost. So
I know.
At that time, y'all can try us. We fought 10 dudes from Chicago. I hope you remember that night. Rodney picked that dude up from when that dude shoved the girl into the bar.
Oh yeah, dude. He went AWOL.
Bro, I have never seen somebody react so fast to anything in my life. Like, as she was like even on her way to hit the bar, like Rodney just snapped this dude, picked this dude up, bro, carried him 20 yards into a brick wall. And then Rodney's like 6'2", 6'3", or something like that. Dude, I had to jump up and I Superman punched the dude in the face for no reason. Well, can't really say no reason, but it was just a reaction. I'm like, I gotta, just jumped up and Superman punched him. But the dude from San Diego, do you remember him?
For those of you that really haven't like seen the height of Chris, so to kind of put it in perspective, both Rodney and myself, Rodney was like 6'2", 6'3". I'm 6'5". Maddie is like 5.
You better put us in the same category. You think he's 5'10"?
I don't know, 5'8". I don't know. Both of y'all are dwarfs. I don't care.
Dude.
But Chris was until Levi got on board. Chris was the smallest one out of all of us. We nicknamed him the Chihuahua just because literally, if you see him like running after somebody to go attack, it's literally like watching a video of a stupid runt of a dog just trying to like bite us in the ankles. Yeah, dude. So,
do you remember that guy that I beat up from San Diego?
I mean, which one? There was quite a few.
So he was the one that was gonna sucker punch the dude from the cartel.
Oh yes, I do remember that guy. Dude. Yeah, dude, we took him out back and just wailed him.
Well, I took him out front, and I can't really say like I really like smashed this dude up or beat him up, but I definitely beat him up. But we're sitting in there, and he was hammered, bro. And he's staring at one of the dudes from the cartel. I'm not going to say his name. And he had his...
Do you even remember his name?
Yes, I do.
I'll say it.
Yeah. So he had his fist clenched. And I'm thinking to myself, like, there's no way right now this guy is trying to dig his own grave. Because those other guys, they're chilling, bro. They're chilling. Not causing a scene, not causing drama. You know how they are. And this dude's so hammered. He's sitting there staring at him like this. And he's got his fist clenched. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, damn it, dude. And so I'm not going to sit there and yell across the club. So he gets closer and he literally was in the motion of kind of throwing his arm back, winding up. I walked behind this dude, grown ass man, 38 years old. He is a business owner and owns stuff down in Gas Lamp Quarters in SoCal, which I've been there. It's pretty cool, but I heard it's crap now because of COVID. So he like winded up his punch. I go behind him, dude, and I double underhooked him. I picked him up. Bro, he is like kicking and squirming like a little kid. And I told him, I held him super tight and I was yelling in his ear. I said, dude, you don't know who they are. You don't want to do this. And he was like trying to fight me. And I'm taking him outside and the door is like those little push doors. And I couldn't get to the door because he put his foot on the wall. So I'm like, dude, I like went into fucking Hulk mode. And I picked him up, turned him sideways, and rammed him into the door with his head. And then once we got out there, dude, I threw him down. I think it was, God, dude, it was you. I think Maddie was there.
Yeah, me and Maddie were working the door that day.
And then who's the other guy? He's like a country guy with the ball, always wore the ball cap. Super cool guy.
I don't.
You know who I'm
remember
talking
his
about,
name,
right?
He always wanted to work the door.
Yeah.
He never wanted to be inside.
Yeah, so he's out there and he sees
inside
me.
was where all the fun was.
Dude, I had so much fun, bro. Yeah, dude. And he saw it go down, and then the guy, as I threw him to the ground, he like grabbed my shirt and literally scratched me. I had no idea they were there until Christina saw it. And throw him to the ground, and I'm just fucking wailing on him, and then they drag him out. And then his girlfriend comes over to me. She's like, what are you doing? She like had her drink on me. I was like, get the fuck out of my face. And she stepped off. And then the dude is off the front little patio porch trying to rush me. Nobody was around me. I was like, dude, bring it. And I couldn't fight nobody because the cops are there out front like that. But that was probably
they didn't care.
Yeah, that was probably
they worked with Maddie. They didn't care.
Dude, they were fucking cool, man. That was probably one of the funnest times. But I think like the second most fun was that night that like a not really like a brawl happened inside, but dude, oh my gosh, dude, these two kids in the back, in the corner by the restroom area. They like got into a fight. They're throwing water on each other, and like one of the waitresses came over and she pulled me. She's like, "Hey, there's two guys fighting in the back." I was like, "Shit!" I think I called you and Rodney or Maddie, and we went back there. And one dude tried to swing at Maddie, and Maddie ducked. And the dude that swung at Maddie, bro, I grabbed this dude and I threw his head down and I fucking uppercutted this dude so hard, and he fell down and stood up. And then I look over at you. Dude, this was I wish I could draw this picture. There was the smoke from the fog machine, and one of the guys standing there just disappears back into the smoke, and I just see your eyes like this. You're like this, and you pull him back in, and then you disappeared. I was like, holy shit, he's gone. And then Maddie, dude.
So what happened on that is that two of their buddies were like coming towards y'all, and so like I heard the commotion, obviously. So I was, because Nicole came and got you and Maddie. Yeah. You got Rodney first of all. Well, actually Rodney was working the DJ booth and he saw y'all, so that's when he came. Nicole came and got me. And so that's when I started walking, and then I just see these two other guys just like right in front of me. One of them was about to like freaking deck Rodney in the back of the head, and that's where I just grabbed him. I put him in the headlock, and then
Batman, bro.
So whenever I put him in the headlock and I'm pulling him back, just like Batman would, right? This other guy tries to freaking punch me in the face. I move my head back. He punches his friend, and then I just grab his throat and just like both dragging them both just out the freaking doorway. And dude, it was so freaking hilarious, man.
It was so much fun, man. Roddy and I like literally beat the shit out of these two kids, and then they were like, "Oh, you guys gotta fight us straight up," and we're like, "We just fucking did." And then we pushed them out the back door. So Maddie pushed them both out the back door. That back door was loud as shit. So when I heard that door like smack, I looked out the corner and I saw Maddie and both of them out there. I was like, oh hell no. So I go out there, and then Maddie's like, come on. He's like, you guys want a 2-on-1? He's like, let's go right now. And then the guys were like, yeah. And then I went out there, and then it was just like when they saw like Maddie and I together, and they're just like, damn, we've got a pit bull, we've got a chihuahua. What are you supposed to do against these two guys right now? And dude, they literally turned around and then just ran down the little alleyway. But dude, those were some God, man, those nights were so much fun, dude. Like I thoroughly enjoyed the time that I was there. But when it got to the point where we were literally getting in like multiple fights almost every single time we worked, and then Elias was about to be born, dude, I had like a freaking, I had like a awakening, dude. I'm like, man, there's nothing stopping somebody from coming back with a knife because you don't have metal detectors. Somebody coming back with a gun and just getting stabbed or shot. And I was like, I didn't think about that until my son was about to be born. And I was like, Dad, I got to stop this.
Well, if you actually look at it, both you and I left
We did. That's true.
at the perfect timing
Yeah.
because that's when all the shootings in Dallas
It's
really
true.
started picking
It's
up.
crazy how it works, right, dude? God is fucking,
Yeah.
he's always there, dude. I'm telling you.
Mhm.
It's,
Mhm.
yeah, that was so much fun. And still to this day, dude, I really wish Levi would have just fought somebody, dude. I just wanted to see him fight somebody, bro.
I know he was.
He was
Oh,
he was
Levi.
calm, dude. He was like, he'll like, you could see him get riled up, but it never got to that. Maybe just nobody really honestly wanted to test him, but they wanted to test me all the time because I was a short buff guy, and they're like, oh, let's fucking size this guy up. And I'm like, okay, cool, bring it. And then, undefeated, that's what we do. So, but that was fun when we fought those 10 dudes from Chicago. That didn't last very long. Maddie choked out like 2 dudes. You choked out 2 dudes. I punched a guy in the face. Rodney slammed a dude into the brick wall. The other dudes gave up and were like, no, 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 no. It's just like, it was 3 of us and 10 of them. So yeah, it was a good time, dude. I really enjoyed that and just freaking bonding with the dudes. And I just felt like I needed something like that, man. Cause it's just like, God, it was just like, I needed to get it off my chest.
Like working at the bars, it was just a huge stress relief.
It was.
Really from the day to day like grind that we had, the BS that we had to put up with at LA Fitness.
He's married now, right?
Yeah, y'all. I saw that in the text message. Yeah,
Christina
but
sent me a
like,
video. He's on Instagram, dude.
I don't follow.
Yeah, I don't either. Dude, once he started messing around with money and like literally screwing me over on money, because you know how it goes. That's when
He screwed everybody. He was part of that group that really tried to take advantage of everybody,
Get rich
both
quick.
workers and customers. LA Fitness, like I had fun.
it's a scam company. I don't care, dude. I'll say it.
I hate being a salesman.
Mhm.
I hate being a salesman. I hate everything about it. And we just kind of got caught up into that where we had to, just to survive, like had to lie. Oh no, it's not a contract. Yeah, it's a contract. So
Yeah, I didn't like that part of it, man. I'm really glad that I got out of it when I had the chance and stuff like that. And I thought it was really cool, man. We were both at was it the Frisco location we were at? Yeah.
oh dude, we were at the same location for 3 of them. We were at Greenville.
Not that one.
Yeah, we were. We worked at Greenville together.
No. The one in
was-
Dallas. That was Frisco, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That,
Yeah,
so
Frisco, we worked at.
do you
That
remember
was our
when
main location.
we
together.
went to lunch and then we went over and I got Christina's wedding ring and we had beers while I was buying it. That was the coolest thing, taking a break. And he's like, hey, you guys want beer? I'm like, what the fuck, y'all do this? He's like, yeah, of course. Like, you're spending an X amount. And he's like, you guys, how many do you guys want? I was like, how many do we want? I was like, damn. That was a good time. That was a good night.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a good night. But yeah, man, that was fun while it lasted. I definitely didn't like the scamming aspect of it. It is what it is though. But so what are your plans now going forward, brother? What do you want to do? Do you want to stay in? Do you want to get out? I know you said you had a couple doors open.
So like I stated earlier, I have 3 roads laid out in front of me right now. One is to continue to stay in, do what the heck?
Officer?
Energy saver turned off. Yeah, do OCS and just stay in for a total of 8 years. The second route is literally just stay where I am, sign a decking statement, and just ETS in 2025.
Okay.
Finish out here at Di Lorenzo, and then the third route is so I'm liable. I'm up to doing the board for E6 in October. This October. So this is the one I'm really trying to put like all my eggs in right now is get my E6, and whenever it comes time to re-enlist, I'll re-enlist for 4 more years, but work with my branch manager to be an instructor down at San Antonio, because we really want to move back down to Texas and be close to Amanda's parents and the ranch. So if we're in San Antonio, hey, we can live out there, and I just drive to Fort Sam Houston every single day.
It's a good place. I
It's
heard that
only
place is nice.
Yeah, yeah, it's only like a 30-minute drive, so I really could care less. It's either being an instructor down at Fort Sam Houston or be an instructor down at Camp Bullis. I
Don't go
want
to
one of
Bullis,
those.
dude. You want to go to Bullis?
Oh, dude, hey, I love Bullis. I don't care what anybody says. That's
Yeah.
like, I'm outside all day. I don't care.
Especially
I'm
like being an
outside all day right now.
instructor. Yeah, I think being an instructor would be really cool. But like when I went through it, that shit sucked. It was the slums, but I loved every second of it in that aspect because I'm like, cool, we're getting into some training. But yeah, being an instructor, like I think I would thoroughly enjoy that if I had that opportunity. But so
Yeah, I love teaching.
so you
Like
want to stay
every
in
single
E-Dog,
team.
huh?
Huh?
You
Yeah.
stay in E-Dog? I respect it, dude. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, what do I value more? Family or money? Obviously, I'm going to choose my family. So,
Yeah.
you know, that third road being staying as enlisted and then moving down to San Antonio, that's what's going to be best for my family. That's more family time for me.
Mhm.
If I'm an officer, dude, we have no idea where we're going to go.
So let me ask you this. Do you know the percentage? Okay, well, a couple questions. Do you know the likelihood of like you possibly getting accepted with the board? And then follow-up question is, do you know the percentage of the acceptance to get into that next rank? So for example, for my career field, there's 38,000 people. It's the biggest job in the Air Force. And one of my NCOs, he's staff sergeant, so he's E5. So for him
Mm-hmm.
to go to E6, you obviously have to take the test, pass it, but the I believe it was a 14% chance to get tech sergeant, but the acceptance rate in our career field was less than 1%. How are you supposed to retain people with a shitty ass percentage to accept it? So what they're trying to do, at least I don't know if the Army is, but the Air Force. So for senior airman, which is me, to become an NCO, used to be like, I think like high 20s, maybe high 30% chance to get to your next rank. So everybody, there's too many chiefs, not enough Indians. So they're letting everybody become a freaking NCO. And then I think they finally got to the point where like, how do we save money? And how do we stop promoting these freaking 19, 20-year-olds into becoming sergeants that have no experience? Don't get me wrong. Some are ready, but a lot of them aren't. So they drop the percentage down to get in, but they give you the workload of an NCO because for us, it's called ALS, which is Airman Leadership School. For you guys, it's BLC, right? So I technically am a supervisor, but I'm not an NCO yet. And so I have troops. I do the exact same things essentially as a staff sergeant, but I don't have that pay. I don't have that rank. So they're saving money by doing that. So what is the acceptance rate for you guys, for you in your field, to get through the board, to get accepted, to go and be E6?
I honestly don't know those statistics, the number value,
Yeah.
like you do. What I do know is that medics, I mean, we breathe and we promote.
Okay, that's
That's
cool.
really what it is. So it's like, it's based on, passing the board, you have enough promotion points, and then obviously you have to go to the school.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm really just working on the promotion points. I'm not really too worried about the board. It's standard questions that they interview board that they would, or promotion board that they would ask. My NCOER, my non-commissioned officer evaluation report. I mean, it's very good. I have a lot of rapport. I have a lot of letter of recommendations.
Do you need character letters for stuff like that or no?
Hmm?
Do you need character letters? Like, do people need to like write in and say like how good of a person you are? Does that count towards the board for you guys? Or no?
That's put on my NCOER.
Okay.
Like, yeah, really, that's what
Okay.
it is. But like I don't want to sound like really conceited because
I mean, dude, if you got it, you got it. I mean, for me, I got promoted
yeah,
6 months early because I'm not a shitbag. So
exactly. Like it's kind of like what we talked to at the very beginning of all this. You
mm-hmm.
know, we had the mentality like, hey, you asked me to do something, I'm going to do it, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
So I could give me any task, I don't care, and you can consider it done. I mean, it may not be done within the timely manner that you want it done, but it will be done in a timely manner that it needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And so like all my leadership, they know that. That's why I'm the NCOIC for readiness. That's why I have my hand and foot in literally every single section of that
Get
dang
those bullets
clinic.
down, dude.
Exactly. So, everybody, I've earned a reputation where you can rely on me. So that's why I'm really not that worried about getting promoted. What's up, dude?
You want to say hi to Josh? Can you see him?
Hey, buddy. It's been a long minute.
He's tired, bro. He looks just like me. He's so tired right now. So,
Mm-hmm.
you give me just a second, Bubba? He just woke up. It's really hard for him to fall asleep sometimes. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. No, you're good.
You can sit right here, buddy. Yeah, so I mean, to be honest with you, I've always kind of felt like that E-Dog was like your like mentality, your forte, and for you to like I really feel like, I know we talked about like, oh man, you should have went in and been an officer, but you took that route that you wanted to take, and kind of looks like you don't really have any complaints about it, and you have your 3 options, which is better to have 3 than 1 and 0. So, whichever one you take, dude, that's where you're supposed to be. It's where it's meant to be. So, I think you'll definitely be in the right position. And, dude, staying in touch with that little group chat is like the best thing to just kind of see what everybody's doing and catch up. And I mean, that's how we got you on the podcast, dude. I mean, shit.
It really is, and like in this day and age, men's mentality, it's coming to light, and you have to have. I'm gonna quote The Hangover. You have to have your wolf pack.
Yeah.
You have to. We're not meant to be alone. So like I give everything I have in life. It is strictly because God has blessed me.
Mm-hmm.
He's blessed me with my work ethic that I have. He's blessed me with his gifts that he's given me. My biggest spiritual gift is serving others. And that has truly, taken me everywhere in life. Every blessing I have is because of that and because of him. So I'm not worried about the future. I'm really not. Like, hey, if he wants me to go officer, guess what? I'm going to go officer. If he wants me to stay enlisted, stay here, guess what? I'm going to stay enlisted and stay here. If he wants me to go down to San Antonio, guess what? I'm going to go down to San Antonio.
Yep.
So that's what it really boils down to. Like, I'm up for whatever.
Yeah. Well, it was great talking to you, man. I had honestly, like, we can do a part 2 some other time. I really don't care. I mean, whenever you're free, because I'm gonna be free. So whenever you have time, dude, we'll freaking knock it out. I know you're 3 hours ahead. We can try to figure out maybe same time or a different time, stuff like that. But it's cool because people can look at this, and the gentleman that we had before, he was a 35 Fox as well with Christina. She couldn't come on, of course, so he took over and essentially kind of did, has talked about like what he's done and such. And then people that don't know certain jobs in the military, being able to kind of understand what a 68 whiskey does, and your experiences from you joined up until now, your options, where you're at with your family, what you want to do, things you like, you didn't like, and again, the experiences that you've gone through and some of the training, and essentially like the logistics of it all. So it's cool. Again, thank you for coming on, man. It was a great time, and everybody, you can catch us across social media. Now we're on the new Thread by Meta. So Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. I don't know if I said that. And then Thread now. This video will be edited and set up there. And again, thank you, Josh, for coming on here, man, and talking to us. It was a good time, brother. I appreciate it.